Right here we have a Lawnmaster lawnmower 2-in-1. After 2 years, completely stopped working, plugged in, nothing. My usual suspects are looking at maybe a blown fuse or maybe the bushings inside the motor. So let's open up and see what's going on. Alright, first thing is getting the top cover off. Alright, you got screws here, there's a screw here, there's another one, there's a fourth one, and here's the fifth and the sixth. So pop these screws off, and this is the adjustable lever. There are two screws holding the plastic clip, so make sure you take it off, and let's see how it looks inside when I pull it out. Well, this looks pretty bad. I'm going to be using a vacuum and a leaf blower to clean everything whatever I can. Alright, everything looks nice and clean now. I used a HEPA vacuum and I used a leaf blower to blow as much as dirt as possible. So this is a weight which keeps the weight balanced. So this usually pops off. I mean, you don't have to take it out, but it's up to you. This comes off, see there. And this is the plastic cover. You know, right underneath is where the motor is. So that usually just slides off. There's no screws holding it. Once again, I use the leaf blower to take as much as dirt as possible. I could not find any fuse. I traced the wire. There was nothing. Alright, even after blowing all the dirt off, no luck. I seen a bit of a spark, but nothing happened after. Then I knew that the two bushings, there's one here and there's one here, which should have contact in the coils on the side. So I'm suspecting that could be a problem. And if you look closely, so there's a small thing which has to be pushed down, and once it's pushed, you can pretty much pull these out, or you can use a screwdriver to crank it out. Alright, let's try it again. There we go. Oh, still tight. Alright. Now, this is a bush after it's been cleaned. When I first looked at it, it was all dark and black. So all I used is a simple rubbing alcohol. Just wiped it off. And I took the wire out of this area. And I just ran this bushing on this brick floor a couple of times to make it nice and shiny, all cleaned up. So I made sure the spring works well. I blew some air into it so I can see the spring action is much better. There's still a little more life on these bushings. So all nice and clean. Put it back, just slide it in. Alright. Alright, a little bit of crank, and okay, that's good. And once in, make sure to lift this little metal part to keep that bushing in place so it doesn't slide back out. Right, I did the same thing for this bushing too. Removed it. This looked pretty nasty. It was black. So I took a lot of dirt out using the rubbing alcohol, and once again ran it a couple of times on the brick floor there and cleaned it up, put it back in, and I'm just going to lift that lever just to keep it in place. There we go. So now it doesn't slide out. It's nicely held in. It looks good. Now another thing you want to do, so I'm just spinning the bottom of the blade, and you can see that's where the bushing sits on. Now I notice where it rotates, that area was a pretty nasty gunk on that. So all I did, there we go, took a Q-tip, alcohol in it, just put it in there, spun the wheel. My son just spun the wheel at the bottom and cleaned that area, and you can see it all came pretty black. This is the second Q-tip I used, so make sure that I clean that area as well where it runs on the bushings. Alright, here's a moment of truth. I got the wires plugged in. Let's give it a try to see if my project worked. Well, it worked well. So the importance is making sure to remove the housing at least just once before summer. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Check the bushings. So most of the dirt usually collects around the bushing area, and if it's worn out, you may have to change both the bushings, and this will run for many more years like magic. Alright, hope this video helped. If you have something similar you want to fix, DIY for yourself. Good luck.